Welcome to Coach Me, the podcast for women who want more. More clarity, more confidence, more you. We're Tanu and Cathy, friends, working moms, businesswomen, and real-life coaching buddies.
Each week, we cut the BS and bring you insights, tools, and truth bombs that help you show up stronger at work, at home, and in life. If we can coach each other through the chaos,
we can coach you too.
Welcome back to Coach Me. Today, we're getting into the voice that lives rent-free in our heads. You know, the who do you think you are energy that shows up uninvited anytime you're about to do something bold. In the coaching world, we call it your gremlin. Some call it the inner critic or inner saboteur, but the thing to remember is that it's not you. It's the voice you picked up somewhere between childhood and now. You absorbed messages like, be perfect to be loved, don't be too loud, play it safe. And those messages didn't just disappear. They evolved into a running internal dialogue.
Yeah, exactly. It's like your brain took those messages and absorbed them unfiltered. Because often they came from people you trust, like parents or teachers, right? And then you have those self-limiting thoughts pop up like a playlist you didn't even pick.
Yes, and as usual, there is science behind it. That playlist exists to protect you. So, evolution wired us to fear rejection because back in the days, rejection used to mean exile. And if you were exiled from your tribe, it meant death. So, your brain literally processes social rejection in the same area as physical pain. So, your gremlin, it's your brain's awkward attempt to keep you safe. It's like it takes whatever information it has from the past and tries to blanket apply it to any situation in the present. Now, the problem is it's now trying to protect you from things like public speaking, raising your hand in meetings, or launching your dream project. How crazy is that? So let's get into the 3 biggest lies your inner critic tells you. This might help you really understand what's at play. Your inner critic is clever. It doesn't just say you suck. It's way more manipulative. So let's expose this little liar, shall we? In today's episode, we're going to talk about the 3 most common lies it tells you because it shows up in many different ways. But you really need to be aware of these 3 big lies. And we'll also have a mini coaching session using the nice framework that I created that helps you go deeper into understanding how to tackle this inner critic. And there's going to be a surprise, so stay with us until the end.
Ooh, that sounds so interesting. I wonder who's going to be the lucky person, huh?
We'll find out soon who's going to be on my couch today.
Well, let's kick it off with the lies then, shall we?
Lie number 1, you are not ready. This one's sneaky, you know. It disguises itself as being responsible or realistic. But guess what? No one ever feels ready. You keep over preparing and thinking you're going to be ready after this one more prep.
You're not ready. Who hasn't heard that voice in their heads, right? I think it's definitely a big one, and it's definitely one that I've heard before pretty much every big step, like a new job, new project, even recording this podcast in the beginning, right? It speaks to the perfectionist in me, and I'm sure a lot of people in our audience will resonate with this one as well. And it's something we've talked about on our podcast quite a few times already as well. This gremlin is a progress stopper, and I have definitely clocked onto it. I'm sure you have as well.
Absolutely. Lie number 2, you'll be found out. I'm pretty sure all of us know what the imposter phenomenon is. And yes, I call it the phenomenon, not the syndrome, because syndrome makes it sound like it's something clinical, innate, something that needs to be treated. But phenomenon, everyone experiences it, right? That fear that someone's going to figure you out, someone's going to find out that you're not as capable as they think. But, spoiler alert, they're not thinking that. You are.
Oh God, it's such a dreadful one. Oh my God, talking about gremlins is honestly giving me goosebumps because realizing that this is a lie I'm telling myself is wonderful on one side, but also it's so dreadful to be reminded that this is actually a voice we have in our heads, right? And this imposter phenomenon, you'll be found out. It's so horrible because no matter how many degrees you have or how many years of experience, I know so many amazing people who still doubt themselves. A lot of us tend to think that, we are going to be found out or we are an imposter, especially if we just had a promotion or we start at a new job. So this is a really tough gremlin to kick.
Yeah, and you're right. It happens to everybody, and even big celebrities and, people that are famous out there still talk about the imposter phenomenon showing up. I remember reading this quote by Michelle Obama. I think it was something about her new book when it was coming out, Becoming. She said that I still have a little imposter syndrome. It never goes away. That you're actually listening to me. It doesn't go away, that feeling that you shouldn't take me that seriously. What do I know? Isn't that crazy? To hear her say this, it just feels so humbling. And it also gives me a little hope that it is tameable, it's controllable. And that's what comes up over and over again in my coaching when I'm coaching my clients on Gremlin, and how impossible it feels at the beginning. It feels like this big mountain to climb because it's a voice in your own head, like you said. So it feels scary and intimidating. But again, it's not the whole of you, it's not you. It's something within you that you can really control. All right. Lie number 3. If you fail, you'll never recover. This big fear that it creates in your mind. Like, if you do this, it's going to be fatal. Oh my God, this failure, this is it, end of the world. But failure is data, it's direction, and it's something that teaches you how to finally get over that hurdle and reach that point of success. And the only way to guarantee staying stuck is to not move at all. And that's exactly what the gremlin does. When it makes you feel that fear of failure and creates all these scenarios in your head that, oh my God, this is going to happen or that'll happen if you do this, it just puts you in this state of inaction. And we all know what happens when we don't take action.
It's like feel the fear and do it anyway, right? That famous book. The fear of failure can feel very existential and it can be really paralyzing. And I totally agree that this mindset of you have one shot that does overload the pressure on us. But really, like you said, the only failure is not even trying. If the gremlin is trying to protect us from that embarrassment or that disappointment, maybe that could happen if we fail, at the same time, it also keeps us from learning valuable lessons. You win some, you learn some, right? So I think that's how I would try to beat that gremlin if it comes too close to me.
Yeah. And the fear of failure is, like you said, existential because sometimes too much is at stake, right? And what we don't realize is that you think you're losing that thing if you act, but with the gremlin taking over, you're losing a lot more that you don't realize. And I call it the gremlin tax. So I have a formula for the gremlin tax. It's just imagine like an equation, right? Gremlin tax equals inaction multiplied by opportunity missed. Now add that to compounded self doubt and divided by visibility. So, inaction is every moment you hesitate or not do what you're supposed to do or what you want to do. Opportunity missed is the decisions, the conversations, the promotions that don't happen. And the compounded self doubt is the more you listen to your gremlin, the louder it gets. the more you start doubting yourself because you're not giving it any evidence of anything else happening other than that. And visibility, obviously, the less action you take, the less you're seen, the less you're remembered, rewarded, or promoted. So you're paying the gremlin tax every time you let the gremlin win. And that's way more and longer term loss. That's a way bigger and a longer term loss compared to whatever's in front of you that you think you're going to lose when you're getting scared in that moment of the failure.
It sounds like the gremlin tax is a downward spiral that you will recover from way more slowly because it has not just the existential impact, but also an emotional, self doubting, self esteem impact than actually just failing or actually just being an imposter. There's an amplification of playing it safe because you're basically not just missing out, but you're also damaging yourself, your self-esteem, your emotional well-being. By playing it safe, we just don't learn as much. It's like staying in that comfort zone, right? And that comfort zone maybe shrinks and shrinks because our confidence shrinks as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's the gremlin tax for me.
Love that. You explained it so well. So yeah, that totally shows that it hit home. It hit home for you.
100%.
And it's so sad that we self-reject before we even put ourselves out there when Gremlin's at play. And you have no idea how many opportunities you're missing at the back of it when you let that happen. All right, so it's time for the coaching session. So who's on my couch?
Well, I guess it's me. Let's go for it. There is a gremlin I have brought along with me today, sitting on my shoulder. And it's been getting really loud lately. And I think, Tanu and dear audience, this is actually something that will be very useful for me and probably for a lot of other people to be coached through today.
Ooh, I'm all ears. Go for it.
Okay, so the gremlin I want to bring to the light of day today is one that I call the not enougher. It's never enough with this one. She is a perfectionist. She shows up with a clipboard, with a to-do list, ticking boxes that I haven't checked. She tells me I'm not working hard enough, I'm not growing my business fast enough, I'm not spending enough quality time with my daughter, I'm not taking enough time to work out, I'm not reading enough books, I'm not doing enough in my full-time job, even though I am juggling all of it. She stays relentless, whispering that unless everything is done perfectly, I'm falling short. And if I take a break, she gets louder. Why are you resting when there's so much left to do? No matter how much I accomplish, she's the voice that turns pride into pressure and ambition into anxiety, honestly. I really want to unpack this one with you, Tanu. Where does she come from? And what is she protecting? And how do I stop letting her be in charge and instead find that inner calmness, Zen state to just sometimes stop everything and just sit down and chill? How do I do it? How do I beat her?
Okay, first of all, thank you for naming all of that. That's not easy. And honestly, I think a lot of people listening are nodding along right now because that voice is so familiar. And I know you said, how do I beat her? So, full disclaimer, you never ever completely get rid of your gremlin, it stays with you. However, what you can do is learn how to tame it, learn how to make it work for you rather than work against you. And I want to just also take a second to bring this to our audience's attention. So I had given Cathy just one line of prompt to come up with some gremlin that's been bothering you and bring that to the session. And did you notice how she has completely personified it? She created a whole visual for you, like showing up with a clipboard, checking boxes, and talking to her a certain way. That is the amazing part when you really do the gremlin work. Because the first step of doing the gremlin work is to notice. Notice the fact that it's not you, it's a part of you, that it's detachable, right? That you can do something with that part. So, what you can do with that part of you is work with it, work on it, and tame it. So, the very first thing is N of the NICE framework, NICE, notice. Notice your gremlin. And Cathy, you've done that wonderfully. So, now going back to what you brought up, the pressure to be all things to all people and still somehow having that energy to, work out, journal, make dinner, that doesn't come out of a box. It's exhausting. And what you described is the kind of inner noise that doesn't just pop up. It runs in the background all day, especially for high achieving, high performing individuals. So I want to zoom in on something you said, that even when you're juggling so much, there's still that pressure to do more. The cheese keeps on moving on you. That tells me this gremlin isn't reacting to your actual output. It's actually reacting to some deep internal standard. I'm curious, when you notice this not enougher, what's really going on for you in that moment?
Oh, that's interesting. So when I notice it, it's normally a moment when I think, oh, I'm done with everything now. I can read a book or I can take a break. And whilst I'm trying to take that break, it's like a floodgate opens and it's like, no, 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 no. There are these other 20 things that need to be done. So it kind of makes me restless and makes me feel like, oh, that's true. I forgot about that one. It's nearly like a guilt trip. It's like I am allowing myself a break, and it's nearly like, you're not allowed a break. You're not done. So it's that type of voice, like you can't afford a break. So I can't then peacefully sit down and say, no, I want to read 10 pages of my book now. Everything feels imminent and everything feels urgent. I don't feel the calm to take that break because I'm guilt tripped out of it. Does that make sense? Is that crazy?
No, it's not crazy. And it sounds very hard because you are doing all these things and it shows up when you're actually finally sitting down to take a break. And it's telling you, nope, nope, you don't deserve that break.
Yeah.
So that's not crazy at all. It's something that a lot of us can relate to. So, Cathy, when this happens, you mentioned a lot of things, right from the way it sounds to the emotion you feel. And I'm hearing you talking about guilt.
Yeah.
So, what's the core message do you think that your gremlin is trying to reinforce? That belief, that core belief or core message behind that guilt?
That rest comes after action, not in the middle of it. It's kind of like I have to earn rest. That's the message I feel it is sending. Rest has to be earned. But I'm trying to reprogram myself to say rest is part of being productive. But this is so deep in me, like I have to earn the rest.
And how true is that definition of earned rest for you?
I'm trying for it not to be true. And I'm trying to teach myself that I can take a break now. And I've talked about this on one of the early episodes. I had ChatGPT actually create a schedule for me with ADHD type pauses planned in. And this is things like just in the middle of the morning, take a little tea break. That felt so hard for me to do. So it's a really hard one for me to even take a scheduled rest because I feel like I'm not allowed to, but I want to be. It's a habit that is so ingrained to just do more, go faster, cram in more things, get more stuff done. But that works against our nature, I feel like, especially getting older. I want to preserve my energy. I think taking these breaks and noticing the flowers, the little things is really part of that. And this gremlin really makes it hard.
It's amazing how self-aware you are and that you've started doing some work. I love how you created your schedule with ChatGPT and you're kind of using it as your mini coach on the side sometimes. So, what I'm hearing is that your gremlin's telling you that little breaks here and there is you not doing enough to earn your rest. And like I mentioned before, there's like a certain internal, very high standard that it has set for you to be able to qualify for that rest. So, saying that doing work all day and then maybe finally getting a vacation or taking that break is okay, but taking mini breaks during the day, that's been very hard for you.
Yeah.
So when that happens, when you take that mini break, you feel you've not done enough. And that's classic gremlin voice when it tells you you're not good enough to be taking rest just yet. You've not worked hard enough to be taking a break. So it always has this not good enough aspect to it. What do you think your gremlin's trying to protect you from?
Well, it's certainly not trying to protect me from burnout, quite the contrary. But I think it's trying to protect me from judgment. I think there is that perfectionist part in it that says, imagine a surprise visitor shows up and the house is not perfect. Imagine your daughter comes home from school and it's not all prepared. Like this type of being exposed to others as not perfect. It's definitely trying to protect me from that and trying to just keep it afloat. Don't get lazy. Stay productive, stay active, keep doing things, keep pushing. Let's not change pace because I do have a very fast pace. As a single mother, like I'm getting stuff done like chop, 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 chop. And if you suddenly put brakes into that, then that whole pace goes away. And I think it's an addiction, like a little bit of an adrenaline addiction of getting it all done, being really fast, having the reward of it being perfect or being done rather than the reward of taking a break and leaving it undone.
May I make an observation? You said it's protecting you from judgment. And did you notice? To protect you from this external judgment, it's lashing out all these internal judgment on you. That if you take a break, you're lazy. Don't do that, chop chop. You really need to get that done. Why do you think you're taking a break right now? It's like someone's in your head constantly judging you. And the irony is, it's trying to protect you from judgment by giving you judgment first. So you don't have to face it externally.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's
judging me before others judge me.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the kind of fake scenario it creates in your head. And again, we could go deeper into where the gremlin comes from when we do actual gremlin work with clients over several coaching sessions. We go way deeper than this, but just to stick to the framework and in the interest of time, you did the N of noticing of the NICE framework. Then you identified how it shows up, what it says to you, what the voice shows up, what the voice is trying to say and protect you from. That's the identify part, the I. Now, the C is contain. So, remembering that you have a choice at all times, right? You can contain it. So, visualize this with me, right? Your gremlin is sitting with you in the car, it's been on the driving seat, and you've been the passenger. But now, when you make that choice and you create that intention that you want to contain it, you swap that visual with you getting behind the wheel and your gremlin sitting next to you as a passenger. So you let it come along for the ride, but you are the one holding the wheel. So if you visualize this
Mm.
and you had to create like a mantra for yourself, what would you say to your gremlin? It could be something like whatever you call your gremlin, right? We typically come up with a name for the gremlin, and I know you've done the gremlin work before, so you have a name for it. Hey, gremlin, I know you're just trying to protect me from judgment, but I've got this now. You can stay right there, but I am the one driving. And every time your gremlin shows up, speaking to it and saying that to the gremlin. And remember, the minute you acknowledge that it's something that's a part of you, not you, and you can separate it from you and you can talk to it, your brain gets tricked into knowing that this is not an uncontrollable thing for you. And it starts working on controlling and taming the gremlin instead of going into a spiral of, oh my God, everything seems overwhelming.
I love that. Just a quick thought here. I really feel like visualizing it like that already makes me breathe lighter, because having that judgment and having that judgy gremlin on my neck somehow, it feels like hard work to fight it, but to speak to it and cooperate takes that combativeness out of it and doesn't make it another fight I have to carry out, but makes it feel like it's okay, we can speak. It makes it manageable. It doesn't feel impossible anymore. It doesn't feel like a fight I have to put on.
Love that. I love hearing that. And that is what I call the shift in energy. Gremlin keeps you in level one energy of apathy or sometimes even victimhood, right? You feel like a victim, like you're stuck in this perpetual cycle you're not able to get out of. And then the energy starts shifting. Now, the E of the NICE framework is empower it with truth. What's your truth here, Cathy? What do you think would be your reframe to your gremlin that's telling you that you've not earned your break or you're not ready enough to be taking a break just yet?
I think the reframe would be like, I give power to others as well. Something like that, kind of a reality check a little bit. I don't have to portray something. I would definitely do a reframe along those lines of just being like, no, there's another side of me I can put out. It doesn't have to be the judgment resistant perfectionist. It can also be the human, you know?
Love that. And I always remind my clients that we all have our inner higher coach that we can summon rather than our inner critic. So you showed that to us beautifully right now with that reframe. And yes, you can totally let go of that feeling of having perfection in every moment and remind yourself that you haven't earned a break. But the truth is that you don't need to earn rest. And like you said, rest is what makes you more productive, and rest is what makes you ready for what's next. Love that.
Totally. Awesome. Thank you, Tanu. I feel so much calmer now. It's definitely been an energy elevator. Ah, thank you. I hope our audience is with me on this, feeling at peace. And I think we should get to the big surprise of the end of the session.
Yes.
All right, friends, before we wrap this up, I've got to tell you, if this conversation hit home for you, you are going to want to be at Tanu's upcoming webinar. It's called You versus You, Outsmart the Inner Critic That's Been Holding You Back. And it's happening this Friday, August 22nd. You will be in the virtual room with professionals from all over the world doing a deep dive on the kind of stuff we just scratched the surface of today. And here's the sweet part. Everyone who attends gets Tanu's Gremlin Taming Toolkit, so you can keep working on this long after the session is over. Plus, if you download it, you're automatically entered into a raffle where 3 lucky winners will snag a free 45-minute coaching session with her. I just had my own inner critic dragged into the light in this episode. And let me tell you, it is so worth it. So go to the link in the show notes and grab your spot. and get ready to outsmart that voice in your head for good.
And now that's a wrap.
Thanks for hanging out with us on Coach Me. Got a question or something you want us to coach through? Slide into our DMs or drop us a message. We might feature it on the next episode.
And hey, don't forget to hit follow. Your future self will thank you. Just one more quick note. Everything we share here is based on our own experiences and coaching tools. It's not medical or mental health advice. So if you're struggling or need support, please reach out to a qualified professional. You've got this and we've got you. See you next time on Coach Me. That's it.